If you choose to set up security within CenterPoint, then you're going to have a choice of multiple different levels of security that you can set up. In order to set up any security within CenterPoint, the first step is to turn that security on and set a password for your user called the administrator. So embedded into every database is a user called administrator. That step is covered in a previous video. If that's all you needed was a password for your database and you don't need to have additional users, then you're done with your security setup. If you want to enhance your security more by adding additional users with their own username and password, one of the features that it'll give you is the ability to run an audit trail that will show what users have added, edited, and or deleted transactions. If you need additional security, such as limiting users to certain functions within the program, that's when you're going to need the video that we're going to discuss here, or the option that we're going to discuss in this video, and that's called setting up a user group. Setting up a user group isn't the only step in that process, though. You'll first have to set up user groups, and then you'll assign security policies to those user groups. So the next video in the series that you'll want to watch is setting up those security policies. To set up a user group, you would first open up your database and log in as the administrator using the administrator password that you set up. And then you'll go to the security setup by going to File and Security. And the option you're going to choose is User Groups. Normally, when you come to this screen, you'll just see one group there called the administrators. And the rest of the groups that you see there are groups that I created. The administrators group is there so that you can promote your one or more of your users to the administrator function. That's going to give them the ability to access everything within the program, as well as set up additional users, set passwords, and set any other security options. So you can promote them to be an administrator. There's also an additional group that we don't see on the screen there, and that's called the public group. If you don't assign a user to one of the user groups that you create, then they're automatically a member of the public group. When we go to create security policies, you will be assigning security policies to all groups, including the public group. To create a new group, all you need to do is click Add Group. I need to create a group called Payroll so that I can limit the functions of that group to just the payroll functions. So I'm going to go ahead and create a group called Payroll, and I can put in a further description of that group. When you're creating a group, you can mark them in active, but usually you're not doing that when you're creating a group, but there is the ability to edit it later. So I'm going to click Create. And that's all there is to creating the group. You can edit a group at any time by highlighting it and clicking Edit Group and changing the name, description, or making it inactive. And you can delete a group at any time, even if you have users assigned to that group. They will become unassigned. It doesn't delete the users, it just deletes the user group. To assign users to a group, you can do it one of two ways. You can highlight the group and click Assign Users. You'll have a list of all of your users, and you could move them over to the right-hand side either by double-clicking on them and it moves them to the right-hand side, or you can highlight more than one at a time and use your arrow key in the middle to move them over. And then just click Save, and they're now assigned to that group. The idea of creating groups is to create a group, or is to assign users to groups based on like functions that they're going to have. So users that are going to have the same functions. It might be that you have a user group with only one user in it, but more often they'll have more than one user. There is a second way to assign a user to a user group. So to show you that, I'm going to close out of here and we'll go to File and Security and Database Users. I'm going to edit a user, but the screen we'll see is the same screen that you would see if you were adding a new user. I'm going to edit a user, and there's a tab on that screen called Member Of. Once you've set up your user groups, you'll have a list of user groups. On the left-hand side, to assign them to that group, you just move that group to the right-hand side. So you can see here that this user is a member of just the payroll group. A user can be a member of more than one group. To report on any of the user group setup, you would go to Reports. And the easiest way to find the user group reports is to just type user group into the search box, and you'll see the list of the two different reports. This one's the same report, you just find it in multiple locations. But this one is going to give you a list of users that have been assigned to each user group. And then the other report is going to show you what policies you have assigned to each user group. I don't have anything on that report yet because we haven't assigned security policies yet. So that is the next step, and that would be the next video that you would want to review in this series.